Hi S3, it's Mrs. Grant and I am running the Cli Fi Creative Writing elective in this final unit of work that you're going to be doing in S3. First things first, I absolutely want to know who it is that I am talking to. So if you've decided that this is the elective that you're going to be concentrating on, please drop me a little email and let me know who you are and why you picked it. I suppose I should tell you a little bit about why I chose Cli Fi. It's just something that I am massively interested in personally. If you end up being in my senior class at National 4, National 5 or higher, you will see that I use quite a lot of articles on climate change to teach some of the skills because it's something that I am fascinated by. But also when I go to the cinema, those are the kinds of films I want to watch, and I often find myself reading Cli Fi fiction novels as well. So very passionate about the topic. We're going to spend about 5 weeks in this unit of work, and you're going to be learning to write a climate fiction story. So the kinds of things that we're going to be doing are reading extracts from Cli Fi novels. I'm going to start doing that with you next week. We'll be watching clips from Cli Fi films, which we are starting to do this week. Listening to experts talking about the genre, that's the first task that we're going to do this week. And then we're also going to be producing our own text, doing short bursts of writing and producing posters to show our understanding of how the genre works. It's really important that once you've decided which genre you're sticking with, that you see it through to the end. Miss McKinnon has explained that you can do more than one, but it's super important that you choose one of the genres to stick with the entire way through, because what you're going to end up with at the end of this unit is a set of work that are going to form the draft for an important bit of writing that you have to do in S4. So if that hasn't been done, you'll find that bit of writing that a little bit harder. So make sure you stick with it. Hello and welcome to Cli Fi. Like it says in the slide, each week we're going to focus. This week is the introduction to the Cli Fi genre, where we are learning about the genre markers of Cli Fi. By the end of this week, you should be able to identify and explain the common genre markers of Cli Fi, looking particularly at visual text this week, and that then you can create your own text to show how much you have understood about what makes Cli Fi Cli Fi. What I'm going to suggest you do, because I'm going to fire through these slides quite quickly, is whenever you need to pause this video and read through what it says on the slide. Sometimes I'll be reading to you and sometimes I'll just ask you to pause it so that you can see what it is I'm asking you to do. As I said, we're thinking about Cli Fi as a genre this week. And this slide helps you to tune into what a genre marker is. So what is it that makes a story Cli Fi instead of romance or horror or detective fiction or dystopia? So what is it that holds them all together and that they have in common? And then here is a list of some of the Cli Fi genre markers. One of the significant differences between Cli Fi and other genres is that the problem that is encountered in the story is not a problem that faces just one person, but that the entire of humanity is dealing with. So it's not the problem of individuals, but the problems of society and collective groups of people. Have a wee read of those just now. The first task that I'm asking you to do is to watch this clip and answer the following questions. Now, I've put the clip onto the WordPress site already, so you should be able to click on that. The first minute is quite cringy. There's some bad acting going on there. Just smile, nod, and tune in as best you can. Some of it is quite wordy. I'm not expecting you to take detailed notes of all of this, but tune into what it is you do understand. You might have to listen to it twice. What I would suggest is that you watch it through and then you come back to the questions and you listen again, actively listening for the answer to those questions. What we're going to do now is we're going to watch several trailers from Cli Fi films and then think about what it is that makes them part of the Cli Fi genre. So these 3 questions are the questions that you're going to answer for all of the trailers that you choose to engage with. How is the state of Earth presented in this trailer? So what is going on in the world? What is happening? What does the world look like? What is the problem that is facing mankind and the planet? And what is the solution or fix to that problem? What are the characters trying to do? And all of these clips will have answers to these questions. What I'll put up on the WordPress site just now is the trailer that I have used as an example, which is the film Waterworld. So you can either go to the WordPress site just now and click back on that trailer, or if you just go into YouTube and type in Waterworld trailer, you'll be able to see it as well. Have a watch of that trailer first, and then come back to the slide and have a look at how I have answered these questions. What I'd like you to do now is to select 3 different trailers, all of Cli Fi films, and then answer the 3 questions that I used in my model answer and that were in the slide earlier. As you can see, I've got The Day After Tomorrow, which is a fantastic film, 2012, WALL-E, Interstellar, The Core, Twister, Into the Storm, and Sunshine. And what you can do is you can just go into YouTube, put the title of the film and trailer, and that will pop up for you. So the final task that I'm asking you to do this week is to create a text which shows off your new knowledge of climate fiction. I'm going to leave this completely open to you. You could create a poster, you could provide a written summary or a report, you could create a PowerPoint, you could record a podcast or a YouTube video. I have been learning about YouTube videos this week, and if I can do it, you can do it. However you want to present that knowledge is absolutely fine, your call. But all of them have to meet the same success criteria. So in your text, you need to explain what it is that Cli Fi is, so provide a definition, and also an explanation of its markers. What is it that makes a text Cli Fi and not a different genre of writing? I hope that you can't hear my daughter screaming in the garden. Apologies if you can. And then I would like you to include at least one example of a Cli Fi text. It could be one that I have given you already, or you could go and find your own. What we're going to be doing is giving you mini deadlines with this S3 elective. I would like this piece of work to be in next Wednesday, which is the 29th of April. If you can email me the work, it could be a photo or a file at my school email address there. I will keep that work safe for you. But if you have done the work on paper, I would like you to store that somewhere safe so that we can pop it in your best work folder. Finally, here are some extension tasks for you to be thinking about if you're at home wanting to develop your knowledge of the genre further. This is not work that you have to do, it's optional, but it's really good for keeping your brain active and helping you think more about what we're going to be doing. So have a wee look at these sort of extension or challenge tasks. These will change every week based on the work that we have been doing. I've also included some Cli Fi films for you to watch. This is perfectly legitimate homework, so you can sit down and watch a few films and say to the people at home, I'm learning, this is good for me, this is English work. And finally, there are some Cli Fi novels for you to think about reading. There are links to lists of Cli Fi novels. If you were to Google YA Cli Fi novels, all of these articles will come up for you. And remember that you have access to free novels via the Libby app or the Overdrive app. If you don't have your library card number, you can get in touch with me or Mrs. Babs, and I will make sure that we sort that out for you. It's been lovely to think about us moving into a new unit of work and learning together. I hope that everybody has a really good week. If you've got any questions about the work, or you want to virtually drop in and chat to me, then please drop me an email. Have a lovely week.